Ponemos la primera velocidad. Pisamos el acelerador. Y comienza el programa.
And we are back. This is Garage Latino from Los Angeles, like we do it every week. David Lohi and myself, Ricardo, we bring you news and what we find interesting in this crazy world that is anything that has to do with engines, airplanes, trucks, cars, motorcycles, why not? And it's been so crazy that we have the opportunity to drive very interesting cars. And something that David mentioned, and he's very against the technology. He's very against the new things. And for that reason, I wanted to let him know that I drove something that I think is the future. And I'm going to bring him on. David, ¿cómo estás?
Hi, ¿cómo estás, Ricardo? Buenas noches. Hello, dear viewers. This is David Lohi, and welcome to Garage Latino.
I was just joking about you and the technology, but I had the opportunity to drive a car that I think is very significant and definitely something that is coming. But before we go into that, I wanted to say that Automotive News announced their All Stars, and Jim Furley from Ford was the Man of the Year. And I think he has done a great job. I had the pleasure to meet him long time ago when he was at Toyota. And you could see that this man had a lot of energy, charisma, and I think it's to be leading a company like Ford that is at the edge of technology, one of the leaders in terms of automotive industry. It's something that is not easy at all. So
no, and especially that now this is a very exciting time because the auto industry is at a crossroads because we are switching from internal combustion engines to electric mobility, and it's still being debated whether it's going to be the BEV, the battery electric vehicle, or the fuel cell. And also another interesting development is that self-driving vehicles are becoming more and more advanced. So I think this is a very exciting time for Ford, and I think that Jim is doing quite an interesting job. As a matter of fact, he was at Toyota, but he was one of the key persons at Lexus. As a matter of fact, he was instrumental. He was a product planner for Lexus. So he's very much a car guy, and
definitely a car guy.
Yes, and he is now living at Detroit, but he used to be so very much in love with California and LA. Yeah. So yeah, it's a very interesting to see. Well, let me put it this way: not everything in the world has to be about Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's right. And something else, something that really caught my eye in Automotive News, that there's an article that said, talking like a human being spurs success. Why are they surprised? You think that people like to talk to machines? People don't like to be answering to that everything is automated. When you want to buy something like a car, I don't think you can make it that cold. You have to have some emotion, I think. Or maybe I'm wrong. Things are changing. What do you think?
Of course. And basically my way of thinking is, hey, dude, I'm giving you money. It's a sweet talk to me,
That's right.
Butter up my ear. So yes, I think that you are right, because I think, and we have commented so many times that an automobile is not simply a logical purchase. It's also is very much an emotional purchase. Yeah. So the process of acquiring a new vehicle has to have some emotion in it. If you are talking to a machine or trying to do, of course, online shopping is becoming more and more common, but still people like to be treated like a human being. So I think that you're right on the money on that one.
Now, since we're talking about machine and technology, I had a chance to drive this vehicle that I have to say, the way it drove, I was very, very impressed. There was no you couldn't tell that this was something different than what you're used to. And I'm talking
Okay.
about a complete electric car that handle just like you expected any combustion engine car to work.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, those are hefty words that you're saying.
and that's what really impressed me the most. Beyond the technology, beyond all these things, the look and all that, the dynamics of the car, the agility that it had, there was no time lag at any time in the power, no funny feelings on the brake pedal. I was really, really impressed. So we're talking about what? We're talking about the Hyundai, the new IONIQ 5, which is now finally 100% electric. And it's becoming the standard for this new IONIQ brand that Hyundai is launching. And like I said, I was very, very impressed. There's a lot to talk about this car. There's a lot of technology. But at the end of the day, I think your average consumer really might not care for all the details of the technology. They just want to know, how does it feel when I drive? And I felt like there was really no compromise on this vehicle. I was very, very surprised with that.
Well, may I? I think that part of your comment or expectation may be springing from the fact that this thing looks like a hatchback.
Yeah,
Now, these days we are used to having hatchbacks, but we're used to having them with front wheel drive, and this one is in the base version is rear wheel drive, which is going to bring back a lot of old time thrills. Being able to kind of feel it like the rear wheels are pushing on the turns and things like that, and feeling oversteer or potential oversteer. I think that is
but
part
I
of the
have to tell you,
satisfaction.
David, that when I was driving this car, I was thinking, it's so neutral. I mean, of course, I was driving the all-wheel drive platform with the two engines, which is
Hmm.
very powerful, and it pick up speed really, really quick. But overall, I was thinking, what? All the electric cars that I've driven, I can feel that I'm in an electric car.
Oh,
This
nice
one,
detail. The handles.
I
Oh
really
my
could.
God, the
Well,
wheels
talk
are
about the
beautiful.
handles. And I don't know why all four handles open when the car is unlocked. I don't know if I'm truly convinced with that. There's some styling things on this car that it depends your age, that you may get the clue or not. For me, the BBS wheels, the wheels that it has, they're very similar to 1980 BBS wheels, and also the tail lights. They remind me of some of these. What there was a futuristic back in the
The,
80s.
with the square matrix
Yeah,
design, right?
that's right, right. The square matrix. Now, uh, the design is sort of bold. When you see it in person, you see the accents a little bit more. But the proportions are well done. The car looks good. It's much better when you're in front of it, and it's bigger than when you think. I mean, this new platform that they call EGMP, which is the new platform for all the electric vehicles, it's a longer wheelbase and is this almost the same wheelbase as the Hyundai Palisade, which
Oh my
is
God.
a larger vehicle. So when you put it next to another car, that's when you realize, oh, you know what? This car is big and it's very roomy inside. The interior design is, how can I say it? It's interesting because it has a huge dash, a double screen. Something that I'm scratching my head that I could not understand is why there is a magnet on your left, so you can put things in that magnet, like if you're it's like when you put things in your refrigerator.
Really?
So that I don't know about that, but the flat screen is huge and it makes it feel very different. Um, what's important about this car is that it's supposed to give you 300 miles with a full charge, and most important is that you can charge through an 800-volt charger, and you can go from 10 to 80% charge in only 18 minutes. I
I
think that's
think that
great.
would be the main event when it comes to technology. And now that you mentioned that, I think that Hyundai is future proofing this vehicle because, of course, it's going to provide a very quick recharge. The thing is that the current infrastructure is doesn't have that many chargers with
Yeah,
that capacity, if at all. But it's future proofing because it's like the 5G cell phones. A lot of 5G phones are 5G capable, but the networks still aren't there, for the most part. So this is a very good feature, and like I said, future proofing. Very interesting.
And I think the pricing, I think it's about right. 39,000 for the base model with just your rear engine. Now, once you start putting the second engine and with some options, luxury options, then all of a sudden you're
the larger battery, of course.
Yeah, then larger body. Then now you're north of the 40s, and that might be a steeper climb. But I don't know, when you compare it on pricing, Tesla may have an edge, I think, especially in people's minds.
Yeah, unfortunately, they do occupy the top of mind. Yes,
Yeah.
so
It's
that's what everybody's fighting against.
But I tell you, this car drove much better than the Tesla. That's for sure. It drove a lot nicer, and it felt that it was solid. No, I don't expect any quality issues like we have with the Tesla. But for your average Joe that is so enamored with the Tesla name, very, very, very competitive. It will be very interesting. David Lohi, Autos and Gear. You can find him in YouTube. Just type David Lohi, Autos and Gear, and you can see the videos where he is telling us what he's driving and what's worth or not worth to have in your garage. And myself, remember, you can tell your friends to download the podcast of Garage Latino through Believe Network, Spotify, or Amazon Music. So don't go away. We're coming back, and we got something else to talk about, another vehicle that's making the news, and we have been able to be behind the wheel of that, and you want to know about it. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Duraloop es un tratamiento especial para que el aceite no pierda sus propiedades. Duraloop reduce la sedimentación de las partículas nocivas que dañan al motor. Duraloop disminuye la temperatura interna del motor y la fricción de los metales. Duraloop, para que el motor dure más. Gracias por participar con nosotros. Garage Latino sale al aire por la cadena nacional Believe Network.